Hey YouTube, it's your boy Black Market. I wanted to go over a trade that I had today on NRZ. Um, so I kind of want to talk through my thought process through the trade, and just how I performed on a trade, and how I went about it. So, like I said in some previous videos, you always want to, whatever the overall market does, the sector usually is going to do, and then that stock's going to do, right? So I got into this trade on the 19th. So you can see here on the 19th, um, the market was pulling back. So the market was pulling back to that 21 EMA. I was still overall bullish on the market just because the market was pulling back to the 21. And then on this day, like I had mentioned before, right, money was rotating out of the tech sector, out of the semiconductor sector into other sectors. Okay, so this is kind of how this trade set up. So money was flowing out. That's why the ES, the futures, was heading back down towards the 21. So you can see the overall market was weak here, or it's getting weaker. So then I looked at XLRE sector, because although money was flowing out of the market, it was going through sector rotation, right? So the whole market wasn't dumping. Money was flowing out of one sector into another sector. And you can see here on the 19th, we had on the 18th here, right, we had a green candle. And then on the 19th, we had a higher low, right? So market was flowing out of tech here, out of the semiconductors, and then it was flowing back into real estate, right? That's why we've got this trend up here, because market was going into this sector, and it was going into real estate, it was going into utilities, and it was going into um, industrials, and it was going into energy. So, and rarely, well, you don't necessarily want the market to lead, right, by those sectors, but it was going into those sectors. So I was looking for a play in one of those four sectors. So you can see here it was going into real estate. So then what I did is I wanted to find a stock. And you can see here NRZ is new residential. So we looked at, do NRZ here. So here's new residential. So I wanted to find a stock that was, one, trending above the 21, and two, that was in a channel or in a squeeze looking to break out. So you can see here, I've got my lines drawn in here. It was trending between $9.37 and about 10 bucks, right, and 31 cents. So and you can see the 21 is the red line. So my plan was to get in at the 21, use this as my entry point or exit point, right? So get in at the 21. If it breaks below the 21, if it closes below the 21, then I'll get out of the trade. Stay in the trade as long as it closes above the 21, and then my level to take profit was at $10. Okay, so that was kind of my level. This was the top range, 10 and a half bucks. I just wanted to actually get to around $10. I wanted to take my profit right before it got to that resistance level. So I got into the trade on the 19th. I got in about right here, around 982 or so, and then I actually exited the trade right at that level today. I exited the trade around $10.30, and you can see it was a pretty strong candle. So it actually got up, and it closed at about $10.45. So this trade was actually good for about a 44% return on some calls I had bought. So once again, I got in here around that $10.83 mark. Now you can see here on the 22nd, right? It kind of messed around. It still stayed above the 21. It didn't close below it, so I stayed in the trade, right? one of the rules you want to have is whatever gets you in a trade needs to keep you in the trade. So, like I said, my rule was I wanted to stay above that 21 if it broke below it and closed. Because you can see here on the 23rd, it broke below, but it didn't close. So I didn't close my position out. But if it stays above it, I want to keep in that trade. So I stayed above it here on the 23rd, and we finally got a breakout on the 24th. And so we can go into a little bit more detail here and look at the 2-hour chart on NRZ. And you can see here, this kind of details a little bit more of the breakout. So you can see here it was definitely in a squeeze, right? With those red dots. Those red dots mean that the stock is in a squeeze on the TTM squeeze indicator here. And then right there, the green dots mean that squeeze is actually firing, right? So it got in and then it squeezed, and then you can see that breakout first thing this morning, right? And then I took my profit around here for about a 41% return. So that's it. You got any questions, comments, hit your boy up, and I'll get back with you. Talk with you guys later.